Not the gentle kind that whispered against rooftops. This was a relentless, punishing storm, thick gray sheets slamming into the countryside like the sky itself had cracked open and decided to drown the earth. Dr. Elara Vance stumbled through it with mud clinging to her boots and blood drying on her sleeve. The shuttle crash site still smoldered somewhere behind her, a twisted scar of metal carved into the forest edge. She had been lucky to crawl free before the second fuel cell detonated. Lucky to survive the descent at all. Lucky that the emergency beacon had activated before the lightning strike fried half the systems. Lucky. She didn't feel lucky. Her suit's internal diagnostics flickered red across her retinal display. Mild concussion, fractured rib, dehydration risk, radiation exposure within safe thresholds. The display blinked, then dimmed as power reserves dipped again. She needed shelter. Heat. Power. And she needed it now. Through the curtain of rain, she finally saw it. A house. Not a cabin. Not a rural shack. A house. 2 stories, sharp angles, dark windows. It sat alone at the edge of a field, framed by skeletal trees and tall grass flattened by the storm. No lights. No vehicles. No movement. But it was intact. Relief warred with unease in her chest. This planet, catalogued as H37 Meridian, had been listed as uninhabited. The survey scan showed no intelligent life, no technological signatures beyond geological anomalies. The Human Colonization Committee had approved exploratory settlement. And yet here stood a house. Lightning cracked across the sky, illuminating it in a harsh, white flash. The windows reflected nothing. Elara limped toward it anyway. She climbed the steps to the porch and pounded on the door. Hello. Her voice was hoarse. Is anyone inside? The wind howled in response. She tried again. Harder. Silence. Her suit's battery chimed another warning. She reached for the handle. Unlocked. That unsettled her more than if it had been bolted shut. The door creaked open. Warm air brushed against her face. Not heated. Not conditioned. But warm. She stepped inside. The door shut behind her with a soft, deliberate click. The interior was dim, lit only by the pale gray light filtering through rain-streaked windows. The house was clean, dustless, orderly. A wooden table stood in the center of the living area. Books lined the shelves. A kettle rested on a stove. A faint scent of something herbal lingered in the air. Not abandoned. Not ruined. Occupied. Elara Vance, she muttered under her breath. You're not hallucinating. Her suit registered stable atmospheric composition. Breathable, oxygen-rich, standard pressure. No toxins. She removed her helmet. The silence was heavy. Hello, she tried again, stepping further in. The floorboards did not creak. The house felt insulated from the storm, like the rain could not quite reach it. Her instinct screamed that something was wrong. She scanned for electronic signatures. Nothing. No power grid. No data signals. No heat signatures beyond her own. Impossible. The warmth she had felt at the door had not been imagined. She moved slowly toward the kitchen. The kettle was warm to the touch. Not hot, but recently heated. Her pulse quickened. Okay, she whispered. Someone's here. A shadow moved behind her. She spun. Nothing. Her breath came shallow and sharp. The house wasn't empty. She knew it now. She just didn't know what else knew it too. Upstairs. The sound was subtle, barely more than a shift in pressure. But she heard it. A footstep. Elara grabbed the compact plasma sidearm from her thigh holster. Show yourself, she called, forcing steel into her voice. I'm armed. Silence. Then, a voice. Soft. Clear. Female. You're injured. Elara froze. The voice had come from the staircase. Slowly, carefully, she turned. A woman stood halfway down the stairs. She was tall, taller than Elara by several inches. Her skin held a faint luminescent sheen beneath the dim light, almost like moonlight caught in flesh. Her hair fell in long, silver strands down her back. Her eyes were wrong. Not the wrong shape, the wrong depth. They held something ancient and curious. "You are injured," the woman repeated calmly. Elara kept the weapon raised. "Who are you?" The woman tilted her head slightly, as if the question puzzled her. "This dwelling is mine." Elara swallowed. This planet was surveyed as uninhabited. You surveyed poorly. The response was not angry, merely factual. The woman descended the rest of the stairs with fluid, controlled movements. No fear, no hesitation. Her gaze drifted to the plasma sidearm. "That device will not harm me." Elara didn't lower it. "Stay back." "You are bleeding internally," the woman said. "Your rib is fractured." Elara's grip tightened. "How do you know that?" The woman's lips curved faintly. "I can hear it." Lightning flashed outside. For a split second, the house flickered. Not physically, but perceptually. The walls shimmered. Elara blinked. The shimmer vanished. She exhaled slowly. "You're not human," she said quietly. The woman considered. "No." The admission sent a chill through Elara's spine. "And you are?" the woman asked. "Human." Another pause. "Ah," the woman said. Something in her tone shifted. Recognition. Not of Elara specifically. Of the word. "You are the new ones," she continued. "The loud ones. The metal makers." Elara lowered the weapon a fraction. "You've seen us?" "I have observed from a distance." "How long have you been here?" The woman's gaze drifted to the windows, to the rain. "Longer than your species has known how to write." Elara's mind raced. Pre-human civilization? Impossible. And yet, "You built this house?" she asked. The woman glanced around. "No." "Then who did?" "I did." The contradiction hung between them. Elara stared. The woman's eyes flickered with faint, internal light. "This is how you are comfortable," she clarified. "So I made it." A realization dawned. The house wasn't built. It was formed, shaped, adapted, around human expectations. "You created this because of us?" Elara whispered. "I created it because you were coming," the woman replied. They sat at the wooden table. Elara had reluctantly holstered her weapon after the woman placed 2 cups before them, cups that had not been on the table seconds earlier. Steam rose from herbal tea. Elara hadn't seen the woman move. "Drink," the woman said. "Is it safe?" "Yes." Elara hesitated, then took a sip. Warmth flooded her system, not just from heat, but from something else. A subtle tingling that eased the ache in her rib. "Nanotech? Biochemical infusion?" "Your body repairs quickly," the woman observed. "Faster than most." "We adapt," Elara replied automatically. "Yes." The woman studied her with unsettling intensity. "You always have." Elara leaned forward. "What are you?" The woman's fingers traced the rim of her cup. "I am of this world. My kind does not build cities. We are the world." Elara blinked. "Explain." "We are the lattice beneath your feet, the resonance in stone, the memory in water, the breath in soil." Elara's scientific mind rebelled. "A distributed planetary consciousness? If that term pleases you." Her heart pounded. "You're the reason our deep scans showed anomalous energy patterns." "Yes." "Why didn't you reveal yourself?" The woman's expression softened slightly. "You did not ask." Lightning cracked again. The house flickered. Elara saw it clearly this time. The walls dissolved for a fraction of a second into something vast and luminous, a web of light stretching in all directions, like veins of energy threading through the planet. Then the house snapped back into place. Her pulse thundered. "You're not just one being," she said. "I am one voice of many. And you can shape matter?" "To a degree." "And you're alone here?" A pause. "No." The word landed heavily. "Where are the others?" The woman's gaze sharpened. "Sleeping." "Why?" "Because the sky burned." Elara's stomach dropped. "Burned." "Long ago," the woman continued. "Others came. Not your kind. They tore at the planet's core. They extracted, consumed, reshaped. We resisted. And we won." Something in the way she said it chilled Elara more than any threat. "But it cost us," the woman finished. "Most of us retreated into dormancy." "And you didn't?" "I remained to watch." "To guard?" Elara asked. The woman did not answer. That was answer enough. A distant rumble shook the ground. Not thunder. Elara felt it through the floor. A vibration. Her suit's damaged communit crackled faintly. A signal. Search party. Her people. Relief surged. "They found the crash site," she said. "They're coming." The woman's expression darkened slightly. "They should not." Elara frowned. "They're not hostile." Neither were the last ones. At first. "We're not conquerors. You are explorers." "Yes. You reshape what you explore." Elara opened her mouth to argue, then stopped. "Terraforming protocols. Resource extraction. Expansion mandates. Humanity did not leave worlds untouched." "We can coexist," she said firmly. The woman's gaze pierced her. "You are certain?" Elara hesitated. "I don't know," she admitted. Another rumble. Closer. The woman rose from her seat. "They approach with machines. They're just transports. They vibrate the ground." Elara stood too. "They won't harm you. You do not know that." The house shimmered again. The illusion flickered. Elara glimpsed the true structure, an immense network of crystalline energy nodes beneath the soil. Sensitive. Delicate. Alive. "They'll scan," Elara realized. "They'll detect you." "Yes. And then they will want to study." Her throat tightened. "And if we refuse?" "You will not. Because humanity never refused knowledge. Never stopped at the edge." Elara met the woman's gaze. "What will you do?" The woman's eyes glowed brighter. "What I did before." A memory not her own flooded Elara's mind. Skyships burning. Metal melting. Ground rising like a tidal wave. Annihilation. She staggered. "You destroy us," she whispered. "If you threaten the world." "We don't have to." Silence. The transports were visible now through the rain, dark shapes descending through the storm clouds. Elara's comm unit flared weakly. "Dr. Vance? This is Captain Reyes. We have your beacon. Respond." She swallowed. The woman watched her closely. A decision hung in the balance. Elara lifted the comm unit. "Captain Reyes, this is Vance. I'm alive." A burst of relieved chatter came through. "Thank God. We're touching down in 2 minutes." "Negative," Elara said quickly. "Do not land at my coordinates." A pause. "Repeat." "There's indigenous life here." "Static." "That's impossible." "It's not." The woman's gaze sharpened. "You are choosing," she said quietly. Elara ignored her. "Captain, this planet is not uninhabited. It's complex. I need you to hold position until I assess." "We have orders to secure the area." "And I'm your lead xenobiologist," Elara snapped. Stand down." The silence stretched. Rain battered the windows. Finally, "Copy, Dr. Vance." Holding at 500 meters. Relief flooded her. The woman studied her. "You delayed them." "Yes." "Why?" "Because I don't want a war." The woman tilted her head. "You believe your species would lose?" Elara met her gaze steadily. "I believe both sides would." Lightning cracked again, but this time the house did not flicker. The woman stepped closer. "You are not like the others who came before." "We've learned," Elara said softly. "Sometimes the hard way." The woman's luminous eyes searched her face. "You risk your position, your authority." "I risk extinction if I don't." A faint, almost imperceptible smile touched the woman's lips. "Interesting." Outside, the transports hovered uncertainly in the rain. The storm began to lessen. Just slightly. Hours passed in negotiation. Elara explained humanity's history, its violence, its mistakes, its capacity for destruction, but also its art, its empathy, its relentless drive not just to conquer, but to understand. The woman listened. Sometimes she closed her eyes, as if consulting others beyond herself. "You are loud," she said at last. "You change environments to suit you." "Yes." "But you also repair." "Yes." "You fight yourselves." "Yes." "And yet you persist." Elara smiled faintly. "Stubbornness is a survival trait." The woman considered that. "My kind survives through stillness," she said. "Through patience." "And now?" Elara asked. "Now we decide whether to awaken." A tremor rippled through the floor. Not violent, but resonant. Elara felt it in her bones. "They are listening," the woman said. "To her? To the planet?" "Both." Elara stepped forward. "We don't have to be enemies. We can establish protected zones. Study without intrusion. Share knowledge." "Share?" the woman echoed. "Yes." The word hung between them like an offering. The rain slowed to a drizzle. The storm clouds thinned. For the first time, pale sunlight filtered through the windows. The house shimmered one final time. Then it changed. The wooden walls dissolved, not into the luminous lattice she had glimpsed before, but into something halfway between illusion and truth. The structure became transparent, revealing the vast crystalline network beneath the ground. And beyond it, movement, light pulsing in patterns across the landscape. Dozens, hundreds, awakening. Elara stepped outside with the woman beside her. The transports hovered in stunned silence as the earth itself began to glow in intricate, living geometries. Captain Reyes' voice crackled over comms. "Dr. Vance, what the hell are we looking at?" Elara exhaled slowly. "Our hosts," she said. The woman's voice carried, not through air, but through resonance. "We will not burn the sky again," she declared. The transports trembled. Elara raised her hands instinctively, not in surrender, but in reassurance. "We're not here to take," she said aloud. "We're here to learn." The woman looked at her. "And to change." "Yes," Elara admitted. "That's what we do." A long silence followed. Then the glow across the land softened. The tension eased. "You may remain," the woman said finally. "On conditions." Elara's heart pounded. "Name them." "You will not tear the core. You will not poison the waters. You will ask before you shape." Elara nodded immediately. "I can advocate for that." "If you fail," the woman continued calmly, "we will not sleep again." The meaning was clear. Elara looked at the hovering transports, at the vast, luminous web stretching beyond sight, at the alien woman beside her, ancient, powerful, patient. Humanity had come expecting an empty world. Instead, They had found guardians older than their species. And somehow, she had convinced them not to wipe humanity from the sky. Captain Reyes spoke again. Dr. Vance. Orders? Elara straightened. Transmit to command, she said. H-37 Meridian is inhabited. Intelligent planetary scale life form. Recommend immediate suspension of colonization protocols pending diplomatic framework. A pause. That's going to cause political hell, Reyes muttered. Elara glanced at the woman, then back at the glowing world. Better political hell, she said quietly, than actual extinction. The woman's lips curved slightly. You are bold for something so fragile. Elara smiled. We've survived worse. Yes, the woman agreed. You have. The transport slowly ascended, pulling back from immediate landing. The rain stopped completely. Sunlight broke through fully now, illuminating the luminous patterns across the landscape like veins of living crystal. Elara turned to the woman. What's your name? She asked. The woman considered. Names are a human habit. Humor me. A pause. Call me Lyra, she said at last. Elara extended her hand. Lyra studied it. Then, cautiously, she mirrored the gesture. Their hands touched. Warm. Solid. Real. In that moment, the world beneath them hummed, not in warning, but in something like curiosity. Humanity had not come to conquer. Not this time. They had come loud, yes, but they had also come willing to listen. And sometimes, that was enough. Weeks later, the first Joint Council convened. Human representatives stood at the edge of a luminous field where Lyra and others manifested in forms shaped for human comfort. Negotiations were tense, complicated, full of mistrust. But no one burned the sky. Elara stood between two species, between metal and stone, between impatience and patience. And she realized something profound. Humanity's greatest strength had never been its weapons, or its ships, or its relentless expansion. It had been this, the ability to walk into the unknown, to find something vast and terrifying, and choose not to pull the trigger. Lyra stood beside her as the sun set over Meridian. You changed the outcome, Lyra said quietly. No, Elara replied. We both did. The planet pulsed softly beneath their feet, alive, awake, watching. Humanity would build here, carefully, respectfully, and if they ever forgot, the sky would not burn alone. But for now, under a clearing sky and a world that had chosen not to destroy them, humanity proved something once again. They were fragile. They were flawed. They were loud. But they were also capable of restraint. And in a universe that expected violence, that made them extraordinary.